It's the season finale for the Philadelphia Flyers. The 2014-15 season comes to an end for them. For the Ottawa Senators, we don't know. A huge game for the Sens here at the Wells Fargo Center. Pleasant good afternoon. Welcome to our coverage of Flyers hockey here on Comcast Sportsnet. Along with Bill Clement, I'm Jim Jackson. Chris Terry will join us a little bit later on. Final game of the season means it's awards time. Team awards for the Flyers. For more, let's head down to the public address announcer, Lou Nolan.
Fans, as the 2014-15 regular season concludes, we look back to the beginning and see the development of some bright future stars. The roster was full of young talent that continues to get us excited about how bright the Philadelphia Flyers' future truly is. At this time, we'd like to acknowledge the boys that have battled all year. It is my pleasure to announce the 2014-15 Flyers Award recipients. Our first award is the Philadelphia Flyers Fan Club Gene Hart Memorial Award. It recognizes a Flyer who played with a lot of heart. Past year's winner included Steve Mason, Ian LaPerriere, and Claude Giroux. This year's award is proudly presented by Philadelphia Flyers Fan Club Vice President Teresa Carney and Lauren Encarnato, along with the #1 ranked anthems in the NHL, our very own Lauren Hart. This year's winner, Jake Voracek. Flyers Fan Club will donate a check for $2,000 to the charity of Jake's Choice. Each year, the Philadelphia chapter of Professional Hockey Writers Association presents the Yannick Dupre Class Guide Memorial Award to the player who best illustrates character, dignity, and respect for the sport both on and off the ice. Presenting the Yannick Dupre Award is CSN's very own Sarah Baker, to a player who not only has excelled on the ice, but has also served as a role model for a strong work ethic and ability to inspire others through his commitment to winning. The recipient of this year's Yannick Dupre Class Guy Memorial Award is number 32, Mark Streitz. To survive in the competitive field of professional athletics, players must consistently strive to better themselves. This next award, the Pelle Lindbergh Memorial Award, exemplifies that desire to improve. This award, which is voted on by the players themselves, goes to the player who has most improved from last season. At this time, we ask Flyers captain Claude Giroux to join me on the ice as we proudly present this year's Pelle Lindbergh Award, the Flyers number 76, Chris Van de Velde. Barry Ashby was the definition of what the Flyers defenseman should be. He was tough, skilled, and dedicated player who was instrumental in bringing the Stanley Cup to the city in 1974. Because of the character traits Barry Ashby exemplified, the Barry Ashby Award is awarded to the Flyers' best defenseman as decided by local sports writers and broadcasters. Presenting this year's award is Barry Ashby's son, Dan. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2014 winner of the Barry Ashby Award, number 32, Mark Streitz. Our next award is the Toyota Cup. At the conclusion of each regular season game, the local media select the 3 players that most directly contributed to the result of that contest. Flyers players are awarded points, 5 points for first star, 3 for second star, and 1 for third star. Each time they're chosen, star of the game, the Tri-State Toyota Dealers makes a donation in the name of the winner to the Flyers' favorite charity. This time representing the Tri-State Toyota Dealers is Jason Walsh, and this year's Toyota Fan of the Year winner, Jackie Castaldi, be presenting this year's award. Ladies and gentlemen, the season's winner, the Toyota Cup with a total of 50 points, number 28, Captain Claude Giroux. The award, the Tri-State Toyota Dealers are making a $5,000 donation to the Claude Giroux Foundation. Thank you, Toyota. Thanks, G. Our final award is the most prestigious award given to a Flyers player. It's the Bobby Clarke Trophy. This award is named after former Flyers legend Bobby Clarke, whose number hangs high above us in the rafters. It is given to the most valuable player, award voted on by local sports writers and broadcasters. At this time, Flyers General Manager Ron Hextall will present the 2014-15 Bobby Clarke Team MVP to none other than number 93, Jake Voracek. Flyers wish to congratulate all this year's award recipients. Thank those responsible for selecting this year's winner. Now, fans, it's time for some Flyers hockey.
Well-deserved winners indeed. What a season it has been for Jake Voracek and certainly team MVP. Well, the Flyers get team awards. The Senators have a lot on their agenda here this afternoon. If they get this game to overtime today, they will make the Stanley Cup playoffs. 2 months ago, who would have thought that they would have this scenario? This team has gone 23-3 in their last 26 games to make this remarkable run. They need a point here today to finish it off. So it's the Flyers and the Senators, the Wells Fargo Center, the final game of the regular season, game number 82, and it means so much for the Senators. Today's Flyers-Senators game is brought to you by Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far. By Toyota. Where will Toyota take you? Visit buyatoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. And by Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. The opening face-off and the start of the final game of the 2014-15 season after these messages.
And here at the Wells Fargo Center, the last tilt of the regular season is a matinee with the Flyers hosting the Ottawa Senators. We'll take a look at our Kia starting goaltenders. In net for the Ottawa Senators, a man that has written an amazing story this season in the NHL, the Hamburglar, Andrew Hammond. And for the Flyers, Steve Mason will make the last start of the regular season. There you have it, our Kia starting goaltenders.
Both guys playing great hockey down the stretch of this season. Mason climbing all the way up near the top of the NHL in save percentage. And what can you say about Andrew Hammond? that hasn't been said. He hasn't lost a game in regulation on the road yet in the NHL. 9-0-2. Here are the scenarios for the Senators. They get this game to overtime, they're in the playoffs. If they win this game, they can finish no lower than the first wild card position in the Eastern Conference. If they win and Detroit loses in regulation, they move into third place in the Atlantic Division after being buried in the standings as recently as 2 months ago. However, if Dave Cameron's team loses this game in regulation, they will need help tonight in order to get into the playoffs. Ryan Murray, the general manager of this Ottawa team, is battling cancer, but his team has certainly given him reason to be inspired, and he has given them reason to be inspired in his battle. We are underway. The Flyers in their alternate third jerseys for the final game of this season. And the Senators in their road white jerseys and really icing. Nope, they wave it off as they say that Turris had the edge on Couturier. So we play on. Here's Mark Stone, impressive rookie for this Ottawa team. Moving it back out, looking for Carlson, but it was out of his reach, and the Senators have to go back and get it. Flyer line combinations of defense pairs. Wrapping up at the top of your screen, soon to be followed by those for the Senators. Here is Carlson with a shot that goes wide through the slot, all the way out to Sean Couturier. Couturier's been hot here of late. Moves it ahead to Braden Shen. He is checked, and Carlson will tip it back out to center ice. Bill Clement, wrong side, and down. Ice level is Chris Therien for our final broadcast of the year. Glad you could join us. As Giroux sends it into the Ottawa zone. Bobrovsky sends it up the wall. Joe will move it through center and down into Philadelphia ice.
And we have described the scenario for the Ottawa Senators. If they get a point in this game, they make the playoffs, and what that means is that one of the Pittsburgh Penguins or the Boston Bruins will miss.
That is hard to believe. Really? Established playoff teams, and they seem so set. Remember, it seemed the top 8 in the East were really locked in, basically set up in probably early as mid-January, but it all went south when both Pittsburgh and Boston slumped. But more to the point, this Ottawa team just took off, and they've done so with a first-time NHL goaltender between the pipes and Edmonton. It's really quite a story. Flyers trying to spoil that party, though, if they can win this game in regulation. As you said, Ottawa could still make the playoffs, but they would then need help. Here's Pierre-Edouard Bellemare into the Ottawa zone. He falls on top of the puck as Cody Ceci, the defenseman, works him over, and the puck bounces edge. Cherry Hill zone, Bobby Ryan will move it through center ice. The race for the puck back in Philadelphia ice. Koliakovo could not come up with it. Senators maneuver to it, often getting it back to the point. Sent back along by the veteran defenseman Mark Methot. Koliakovo lost the puck behind the net. The Senators have it back. Vanacek will get it back to Methot. He'll set it behind the net, hoping for Ryan. He was bumped. The Flyers with a chance to play the puck, and they will. Brandon Manning, fresh one-year contract extension that he signed yesterday. Got it ahead, and now Bellemare will hoist it into the Ottawa zone. But 2.5 minutes in, neither team has been able to get a shot on goal here early. I understand there might be some nerves for the Senators team, although they've had a lot of must-wins, it seems, down the stretch. As this puck is covered up by Steve Mason, gives us a chance to show you who is not playing here tonight. And Elon McCulloch is battling a concussion, could be back for the playoffs should the Senators make it. And the same could be said for Chris Neal. For the Flyers, one change, Vinny Lecavalier out. An injury suffered in his fight, one of his 2 fights the other night. And so Jason Atkinson is up from Lehigh Valley to play here today. He's getting control off the draw, but the Flyers control. There is Atkinson wearing number 42. Send one in, batted away by Hammond. Carlson will play it, but right to Cousins for a shot, and a save made by Hammond. Ronaldo and Methot come together. Carlson comes over. And that became a tricky shot for the Ottawa goaltender.
Well, anybody that comes close to Carlson, number 65, be careful.
Let's go inside the glass for the first time this afternoon to Chris Therien.
Yeah, you just said it, Billy, too. Erik Karlsson is a guy that is a real distraction and a problem for a lot of the opposition teams. Former Norris Trophy winner, guys. You can see his numbers, 21 goals as a defenseman. That's an awful lot in the age of scoring that we see in the NHL today, 66 points. He's the catalyst. He's the guy that makes it go from the back end, especially on the power play. He'll jump up in the rush 5-on-5. He's a guy you have to keep an eye on at all times. Tremendous skater.
Braden Shen back to get the puck for the Flyers ahead to Matt Reed, and he'll chip one into the Ottawa zone. Bobrovsky back to get to it. Rugged defenseman moves it along. puck. McCarthy will move it to center ice. Here's Stone, who has been sizzling on an 8-game point streak. Longest ever for an Ottawa rookie. They send it in front. The shot is blocked. Stone couldn't get it through as Delzato laid out. Now Braden Shen the other way. In across the Ottawa line in the right wing. He turns and fires wide. All the way out to Delzato. He'll send it back in along. Shen takes a look. And then gets it to the point to Mark Streit. Streit flipping one, and it's stopped by Hammond. No deflection. And so Hammond handled that one with ease.
So the Flyers can play loose on this one offensively, and they still are digging in defensively. Michael Delzato, that hit him twice. It looked like the second time hit him by accident.
Yeah, I thought he sprawled out. He actually fell, and it hit him.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, guys.
But he did get credit, I'm sure, for a blocked shot on the second attempt. It was a blocked pass on the first one. Puck stays out. Mark Stone around the net has been very dangerous. You mentioned an 8-game point streak, 6 goals, 5 assists. Climbed within 2 points of Johnny Gaudreau for rookie point leadership in the NHL. Edward Bellemare sent it wide of the Ottawa net. Jacobo in on the boards, but there's Carlson play it down the ice. And they wave off icing. Brandon Manning will have to play it. Those 4 shots in the game belong to the Flyers. But here are the Senators now getting to it. Lazar turns and fires, save, it's loose, and they could not get it through. Najot was there, but Manning was on him, and Mason was coming across as well. And Ryan White unable to clear as he is checked. Tries to help him out. Now White, by Eric Condren, squirts free, and it's Koliakovo. Send it to the other side, but Carlson's waiting for that. Dumps it down low off the stick of Mika Zibanejad. Now Zibanejad has it out to the point. Thought across for Carlson. Carlson shot blocked. Knocked down by Chris Van de Velde. The Senators continue to control. Comes right out in front again as Condra snuck it through. Flyers can't get control of the puck. Here's Carlson across to the thought for a shot. That's snared by Mason, and he's going to put a halt to things. First official shot on goal right there for the Sens, but they've been buzzing.
They have been. They're going to be good defensively as well. You can imagine that they have brought a whole load of intensity to the ice surface for this one, knowing that they can get in with a point. Steve Mason has been trying to grab pucks in front of him, hasn't been able to get to them because they haven't gotten to his doorstep. That one looked like it hit Brandon Manning.
Talked to some of the Ottawa people before, guys, and the attitude was they're treating this like it's Game 7. Game 7 on the road, and that's probably about the best way to sum it up.
Well, they don't want to lose the regulation and then
correct.
have to board their plane not knowing if they're going to be in the playoffs or not. A much more enjoyable ride if they can get at least to overtime here and know they're in the playoffs, and a win is even better because it would improve their position. Jake Voracek battling through the Czechie of Cody Ceci. Now it's Michael Raffl. Zibanejad takes over. Raffl checks him, but he did so illegally. Hooking penalty coming up against Raffl, and maybe it's a high stick as Zibanejad appears to be clipped. And so we'll see what the call is, but the Flyers for sure will be shorthanded. So while Raffl heads to the box, let's take a look at our Ontario travel game notes. Discover Ontario. 1 point for the Sens. We've made that point clear. And the Flyers also said Brandon Manning signing that 1-year deal, and he got a chance to play in consecutive games and a streak of games, a stretch of games here, and he's taken advantage enough to get himself a new contract.
It's a 1-year, one-way deal too, which is significant for Brandon Manning. There you see the high stick that was called. Raffl immediately shrugged like, really? I didn't think I hit him. But Michael Raffl, even the other night, played with a snarl, and he's got that same kind of growl today.
Sends right to the power play. Carlson getting it in front. It's poked at. Patrick Wierkosh gathers at the blue line. Back to Carlson. And now Wierkosh. Cross ice Turris. Another red hot Ottawa Senator. Stone. Now Turris again. And he's checked. And stealing the puck is Bellemare. He and Van de Velde move up. Bellemare in across the line. Hindered by Turris. The Senators get it back. And Ottawa moving up with the puck. The pass across ice by MacArthur is stolen and cleared by Bellemare. There are the overall numbers. Power play has not been the strength for Ottawa, although they are 4 for 13 in their last 7. Flyers penalty kill has been a struggle for most of the season, and a turnover here by Mason, and an easy slam dunk goal for Mark Stone. It's 1-0 Ottawa. Don't come much easier than that. Stone gets his 25th of the year as Mason turned the puck over. A power play tally, and Ottawa has the early lead.
And this is really surprising because I haven't seen Steve Mason try to do this season. And that is get the puck and not freeze it. Not only that, from a kneeling position, he was trying to clear it up the wall. It didn't go so well.
Yeah, and you know what, Billy, when he had it, I mean, wasn't the decision if you're going to play it, and I know it's a split second, just play it up the glass or up the boards. He got kind of frozen and a little bit handcuffed himself in that play and turned it right back over to Ottawa.
You know what, Chris, I'm not sure how he could have done any of that from that kneeling position. You know what I mean? It's
in his
hard
glove.
enough to shoot. Yeah.
Right, to move it from his glove down. But I'm just saying, if you're going to put it somewhere, if you made the decision, just put it in the corner. So I guess it's the safest play.
Stone's 25th. This one on the power play, and Ottawa has the lead. Wanted to play from the front, feeling that they would relax even more if that's the case, and they have their wish. Borowiecki back. Pass tipped by Cousins, but still controlled by Ottawa. MacArthur the only assist at 6:06. That goal. That was a good assist. In an instant, he made the pass out to the wide open Stone. After the puck had been knocked away from Mason. Now, Senators looking to do some more damage. Carlson from the point, a shot, and that one squeezes through a couple of deflection attempts. And now it's moved ahead. There's Cousins. He'll just hoist one in. He's hoping for Mark Streit here, the defenseman in deep. Head fake, and then a big high hit by Mark Mathai. Separated Streit from the puck. And Ottawa has it back. Often another impressive rookie. The Sens had the most points from rookies of any team in the NHL. This time the puck deflects out of play. Ottawa 1, Flyers no score.
Nothing Ottawa here in the first period. Ottawa just getting a power play goal. Time to take a look at our Chevy player profile. Flyers MVP Jake Voracek. See his numbers here. 81 games played, 81 points with 22 goals. Those are career highs, guys, in assists and points. And I'll tell you what, he has had a magnificent year. Really left his name on the national stage here in North America for as being one of the elite players, and he's only going to continue to get better, I believe.
Well, his improvement is notable. His maturity now as a player. He's a leader on this team. Senators again right around the Philadelphia net. Flyers are going to have to step up the pace. This is a Senators team that is playing as though they are desperate, and they are. And so far they've had the edge, and they have the edge on the scoreboard.
And a reminder, you can take your Flyers fandom to the next level with a 2015-16 membership. You can enjoy best prices plus access to team events, an interest-free payment plan option, and more. Just call 215-218-PUCK to order or to renew.
Almost 8 minutes into the first period here at Wells Fargo Center. And the audience watching in Canada, Rogers Sportsnet as well in this important game for the Senators. Cesar tipping the puck into the Philadelphia zone. Brandon Manning is there. His pass into traffic. He gets it back. And now he move it to Ryan White. White ahead for Chris Vandevelde. The most improved player for the Flyers. Takes it in and gets to it himself. By Weirkosh, bounces free. Belmar gets his stick free and then back around behind the net for Vandevelde. Left to get a goal here today. They finish in double figures on the year, but the Flyers unable to keep the puck in. And here come the Senators with speed. Ceci with the puck, dropping it off for Lazar. The shot, save Mason. Rebound bounces behind the net. Another Senator taken down as Condra hit the ice. Depositing in. Flyers move it back through center. And Belmar will send it in. Flyers trying to complete a line change. Ottawa misfiring on a pass here, so this will be icing. The face-off upcoming in the Senator zone. Let's take a look at our Jeep trivia question for this afternoon. In which season did Ottawa win the President's Trophy? 03, 06, or 07? We'll give the answer later on in the broadcast. The Rangers wrapped up the President's Trophy this year. And they did so with a little time to spare.
Talking to some of the Ottawa people, guys, they played the other night like they just wrapped up the President's Trophy a night or two earlier. Sitting guys out.
As any team would have, right?
Yes, you're right, Billy. They've earned that right. Yep, absolutely.
Reed to the puck for Philadelphia, dropping it back to Grossman. Drills it in. Flyers have to retouch. They do, but Ottawa plenty of time here to move the puck. Gretzky sizing things up. It's Derek Greiba. Here we go. Rink wide to Kyle Turris. There's a 5-game point streak. Get around behind the Philadelphia net. Stone trying to come up with it. Tipped it deeper, but there's Matt Reed. And Reed will go the other side of the ice. Straight ahead to Couturier. Rink wide for Grossman. Grossman head manning to Reed. Reed sealed off. And the check by Greiba. Stone is back to get the puck to Turris. Backhanded out. Picked up by Zach Smith. Smith it across the Philadelphia line. A wrist shot blocked off by Nick Schultz. There's the shot block leader for the Flyers this year. That one goes into the safety netting. Well, Monday Wake Up is the all-new morning show that is dedicated to feeding the passion of Philly sports fans. Start your day with Rob Ellis, Neely, Barrett Brooks, and Sarah Baker on Breakfast on Broad, presented by Virtua Joint Replacement Institute. Weekday morning, 6 to 8 over on the Comcast Network. 8 blocks for Philadelphia already in this game, none for Ottawa. That shows courage by the Flyers. It also shows that they haven't been in the offensive zone that much, forcing the Senators to block shots.
Who's been doing all of the shooting.
Battle for the puck in the Philadelphia zone. Here's Michael Del Zotto. Pass that goes off. Escape. Claude Giroux will work it back around. And then the Flyers turn it over. Is it chance down low for Chiasson? He cannot bury it. He was upended, and Mason fouled him right across the blue paint. Voracek now in the middle to Giroux. And the right wing feed to Raffle. They are onside, but Raffle is then taken off the play by Mathot. Giroux sends it back around to Voracek. His shot dribbles in on Hammond. The save. Flyers get it back. Giroux all the way out into the slot. The shot, Manning! Glove. Saved by the goaltender. And Hammond has it in the mid. 1-0 Ottawa.
1-0 Ottawa. 9:22 to go. Let's have a look at Michael Del Zotto. Had himself a pretty busy first 10 minutes of this hockey game. In front of the net, he's kind of fallen down. The puck hits him. He provides a block. Another one out in front of the net. And a little chaos in front of him. Del Zotto makes a great play on Alex Chiasson. You can see his numbers right here. The Toronto native, says North York. Essentially, Toronto is his 6th year in the NHL. I'll tell you what, guys, he's looking for a revamp of his career. I think he found it here in Philadelphia after a disappointing year last year.
Yeah, one of the themes of this Flyers season certainly had to do with players who got a chance to resurrect their careers and took advantage. Nick Schultz is another one. We go on and on. Carlo Koliakovo, Ryan White. So good job, by Ron Hextall acquiring these players, and then of course by the players themselves. Maybe they're earned contracts or are in discussions to get another contract. And speaking of discussion, one going on right now.
Turning a face wash in there. Rookie Curtis Lazar for the Senators. And Nick Cousins, a Flyers rookie, number 52 in there. And Zach Rinaldo with the stare down. If there's trouble in this game, look for Zach Rinaldo to be in the middle of it. That was a good play by Lazar. He kind of got Cousins off balance and just sort of finished him into the glass. The problem was there was an offside call, and the Flyers considered it to be an unnecessary hit on Cousins.
Cousins is not likely to back down.
No, he plays down here, guys. I've been watching him closely since he's been up. He plays the role of a pest. I think he tries to get into guys under their skin a little bit in games, but I think he'll be better suited once he, get himself up here playing regularly, become a producer, and then maybe he can add that element.
The verbal?
Yeah, very, very much so. He's always talking to the other team, and especially guys in his weight class.
Anything you can repeat?
No, Billy.
Okay, just checking.
There's Mark Stone starting the Senators back. It into the Philadelphia zone. Buck MacArthur is after it. Shielding the puck was Del Zotto and now Belmont. Edouard Belmont now has to deal with 2 Senators and a referee. And the Senators nearly got the puck away from him, but Schultz was over to help him out. Thank you, Sharon. Wes McCauley are your referees here today. Scott Driscoll, David Friesbois, the linesman. Alley, this 2014-15 season, the Philadelphia Flyers. Del Zotto ahead for Ryan White. Now Vandevelde sifts it through the traffic to get it into the Ottawa zone. Flyers have it back though as we tick down to 8 minutes remaining in this first period. Goal by Stone has Ottawa on top. Chiasson sends it in. With Legwand is after. Couturier after him. The puck to Ryan White. Maneuvers in traffic, spins, and then sends it ahead off the stick of Matt Reed. Couturier trying to track it down. Carlson, that great quickness, gets to it. It goes across the ice. Chiasson. The red line, he'll get it in over the stick of Mason. Jack Smith wrapped up by Sprite, but finds Legwand. His pass is blocked. Grossman trying to get it back. Flyers after it, and Matt Reed will move it ahead and then try to go cross ice with it. Braden Shen will send it back to Sprite. The Senators are changing here, so there's some time for the Flyers. Sprite starts him up now. The right wing feed for Shen. Braden Shen around one, steered it to the middle. Ceci cuts it off and then banks it off the glass out to center ice.
You don't get many second chances once you cross the Ottawa blue line. You have to make a play. Senators really tenacious defensively.
Reed shot and a tough save there for the Hamburglar. Up high, got it done. Manning over to keep it in. Bounces it back down low in the Ottawa zone. Ceci trying to get away from Shen. And into Couturier. Bouncing in the air. Curtis Lazar has it. Back around behind. Now Weirkosh reaching for it. Olyakovo, a piece of him. Ceci couldn't clear it cleanly. Bounces high in the air, and Lazar is there. Flyers trying to get the forechecking game going. Weirkosh will wrap it off the boards all the way down. It does not have enough steam for icing, so we play on. Stretch pass for Raffl. In across the line. Drop pass for Voracek. Voracek in front. It bounces away from Raffl and Giroux as he went to the net. The other way goes Hoffman. Speedy winger with a wrist shot. One batted away. And Ryan did not do much with it. Bounces back into the corner. Schultz would not get out of there with the puck, and then Ryan fans on the puck in the slot. But the third time in this game, it was scrum for the puck, and the Senators now won the scrum. They had a man wide open in front.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Billy. Or Jimmy, rather. There's a lot of open plays in front, and Ottawa winning the battles in the corner.
Collision there between Giroux and Greiba. Both went down. Now Delzato keeps the puck in. And it's batted out of midair, wide by Giroux. Hammond only saw it at the last moment. Atkinson sent into the boards by Borowiecki. That's going to be a penalty, and then maybe another one. The first and definitely a penalty. That's all it's going to be called. A cross-check on Borowiecki. Penalty minute leader for the Senators will head to the box.
Nothing Senators here in Philadelphia. You can see Ottawa here taking a kind of a needless penalty in a situation they're in. Borowiecki comes in and gives Atkinson a good shot from behind, and the Flyers are going to get their first power play of the game.
And with the power play, we look at the standings in the Eastern Conference. Washington and the Islanders battling for home ice in their first round matchup. Washington Capitals playing this afternoon. If they can win their game, they can cinch up home ice, but they're trailing the Rangers 1-0 as Eric Brassard has scored one of those two goals for the Rangers. Here's Claude Giroux with a shot. Hammond the save, and he'll hang on.
And you saw the Bruins on the outside looking in. With the point here, the Senators will lock up a playoff spot in the most improbable run. 2 months ago, the Senators trailed not only the Flyers, but the Devils, the Florida Panthers.
There is your grand prize winner in our McDonald's Power Play Payoff, Eric Heisner, $2,500 heading your way. Along with Bill Clement, Chris Therien, for the party at your house. And congratulations. And thanks to everyone who participated all season long in the McDonald's Power Play Payoff. Flyers power play certainly did pay off for a lot of fans all year long, as it's the third best power play in the NHL, and it's the best on home ice in the NHL. Here's Strike, dealing to Giroux. Giroux, a wrister, save made by Hammond. Rebound, Shen! Hammond stays with him and makes a spectacular save, and no further play.
Man. Well, this is where Andrew Hammond is at his best. In these scrambles in front where he has to rely on his quickness and his reflexes. He works hard to keep his eye on the puck here. It got away from him, and Braden Shen made a dandy move, and Hammond was out there to snag it.
Nothing Andrew Hammond has done up here, guys, has translated at all to what he's done in the American League. 19-1-2, and he's made save after save like that.
How about no going in the NHL has had a better start in terms of team winning percentage in their first 22 games.
Incredible.
Best ever. Here's Jason Atkinson getting power play time for the Flyers. He's inside of the net. And Atkinson takes it back. To the point shot, Delzato blocked. And it's Stone who clears it all the way down. An idea of what the Senators think of Mark Stone. He's on the power play and the penalty kill as a rookie. There are those numbers. Third best power play in the league for the Flyers. Senators, solid penalty killing team, and they've only allowed one in their last 6 games as they've killed off 15 of 16, winning 9 straight. There's Delzato across. Couturier, a shot, save, Hammond, rebound, and it's tucked wide by Reed in front. As Hammond was out of position after making the original save, but somehow was able to live to tell about it.
Are we sure it's not the Scramburglar? Man, can he scramble.
He is scrambling. This is a guy who in a game against the Lehigh Valley Fans this year, we'll get back to that as Grossman overskates here. They shot blocked as Grossman took care of that bid by Eric Condra. The power play is over. Wolodetsky out of the box, and now Giroux nearly overskating. Puck back to Strike. Right wing feed or a check across ice. The Senators have it. They allowed 3 goals in the game's first minute. And he was out cold from the AHL. Andrew Hammond. NHL
Can't beat him.
find a way to beat him.
Can't get a fee by the guy.
It's really a remarkable story. Grossman to the puck. Up the wall, out of the reach of Giroux. Rurkosh will float one. That's seen all the way by Mason. He grabs it, tosses it aside for Strike. Less than 3 minutes to play here in the first period. Shots are 11-3 Flyers. Now 11-4 as they give the Sens credit for a shot on that last bid. But it's 1-0 where it counts. Ottawa on top. White after Mathot. The puck picked up. Ryan run into by Ronaldo, who steals the puck but hit the back of the net with the centering attempt, and Mathot cracks it down. Not given a contract extension earlier this year. Got it to the Philadelphia line, played right back out by Delzato. Nice pass to Ronaldo, but he's checked by Carlson. Cousins follows up, angles it in front off the stick of Hammond. Out to the point, Schultz a shot, save Hammond as he was backing up. Now Ronaldo blasts one off the outside of the net. And it's tipped out in the neutral zone. Delzato for White. Now across for Ronaldo. Zach Ronaldo. Checked by Carlson, who sends the Senators into the zone. Zibanejad fakes the shot and then takes it. Save Mason. Rebound out in front. Stone after it, but 2 Flyers have him wrapped up, and Cousins gets control.
Boy, Zibanejad had an angle. He decided to keep going. He lost his angle. I think gambling that Steve Mason would be out far from his paint, and he'd be able to make a play from a sharp angle. There was no play.
A steal and a shot goes wide from MacArthur, and there'll be a penalty.
There was a play there.
Wow. Was there ever?
Penalty against Philadelphia. Ottawa to the power play here late in the first.
Boy, the shots are misleading because early in the game, the Senators had a ton of point-blank scoring opportunities, and they're finishing off the period the same way.
Very rare you get a wind-up slap shot from about 10 feet in front of the goalie, and that just came from a turnover behind the net. And Grossman stuck out there for a little bit, guys, on that shift. Ottawa just really having a lot of good energy in the Flyer zone. And you're right, the shots have no indication at all that that's the way the game's gone.
Really surprised that Clark MacArthur wound up for that slap shot. From that range, it's not about how hard, it's about where.
Yeah,
and you sacrifice accuracy with the big windup.
And Mason was deep in his crease, Billy, was the only thing I could think of, but you're right. I mean, to think he had all that time. And just hammered up and up over the net.
Not talking about a guy who doesn't know how to score either. Right. MacArthur, 16 goals this year despite missing some time because of injury. 3 times a 20-goal score. And he has 5 goals in 7 career games against Steve Mason, but not that time. Power play, though, for Ottawa. Shot fired in by Belmar. Knocked aside by Hammond. And now it's Schultz. All kinds of room. He takes it off the wall and then deals to Vandevelde. Rurkosh ties him up. And now Stone will flip it to the other corner, but Rurkosh can't get to it. Vandevelde does. Out to Schultz. He'll wide. He'll fire. Off the glass. Into the final minute, as you heard Lou Nolan tell the crowd here at the Wells Fargo Center. Erik Karlsson leads all NHL defensemen in points. He's one of 2 defensemen to lead his team in points. Larson down to Arizona the other. Here's a left wing feed off of Hoffman deep into the Philadelphia zone. Manning to seal him away from the puck. Set it up the boards, but there is Karlsson. Ever dangerous one. Across ice for Zibanejad. Back out Carlson. He'll wind. Pass it. The shot up and blocked. That one stung Delzato. The Flyers clear the zone. 7 seconds remaining in the period. Delzato limps over to the Philadelphia bench. One last push by Ottawa. Here's a Zibanejad running out of time. Backhands it from the angle off the outside of the net. So the first period is complete. There's your only goal scorer, Mark Stone, the rookie, with his 25th of the year, giving his Sens a 1-0 lead. 20 minutes now in the books. Today's Flyers Senators first period was brought to you by Kia. To learn more, visit kia.com. By Cure Auto Insurance, drive well. And by your Philadelphia Super Network Buick GMC dealers.
And don't forget to connect with the Flyers on social media to get all of the off-season updates this summer. That includes Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also visit PhiladelphiaFlyers.com for news and announcements.
Intermission Live straight ahead, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. John Bourque and Al Morganti will analyze a period that saw the Flyers outshoot Ottawa 14-4, but get outscored where it matters, 1-0. Back after this. Today's second period is brought to you by your local Delaware Valley Audi dealers and legendary Audi Quattro all-wheel drive, the world's top-selling luxury all-wheel drive system. And by McDonald's. Any size hot or iced coffee is just $1. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
We'll take a look at our stats from the first period, brought to you by Rothman Institute at Jefferson. The Flyers' lopsided shot advantage, but take a look at the scoring chances. Dead even at 6 apiece. Michael Delzato was a one-man blocking machine with 6 of the Flyers' 11 blocks in the first period. And the only goal scored by Mark Stone, the gifted rookie for the Ottawa Senators.
And so the second period is underway. Ottawa again to set the scene. They get to overtime in this game. Or, obviously, if they win, they will wrap up the playoff spot. They need 1 point, clinch a playoff spot. They lose in regulation. They'll have to rely on some other things happening later on today. If they win this game, it's possible they'll end up with third-place position in the Atlantic Division. Seems almost impossible to believe, but what a run they've been on. They have the puck in the offensive zone as the Flyers back to full strength. Schultz will send it up the wall and Raffl moving into the middle. Voracek, who's 3 points back in the race for the Art Ross Trophy. After Giroux's backhander steered away by Hammond. Giroux on the wall, right back to Raffl, and now Voracek. Jake will escape the corner with it. Down to Manning. To Voracek. Not enough on that pass from Manning. It's tipped out and center by Weircon. Back to it goes. Raffl tips to Giroux. Right back to Raffl. One on the left wing. Goes all the way around behind. Out the other side. Ricochet off Voracek and wide. Slipped in on goal by Poliakovo, and it's snared by Hammond.
Well, let's take a look at our Geico quote of the hockey game, and it is Mark Streit talking about the Flyers season, the ups and downs of the Flyers season. And, you know, I think he hits it there, guys. Said there's some good moments, and on the other hand, you see a totally different phase of the team. He's right. It's been there's been a lot of good things. There's been some things that need improving. Obviously, the road has not been good. Penalty killing early in the season. But Mark Streit's had a great year.
Shen got it in front. They score! Matt Reed ramming it home. And the Flyers tie this game at 1. Early in the second, Reed scores for a case of Tasty Cake.
Boy, that is some kind of composure by Matt Reed to pick this puck up first of all and then get it to his stick. But it was all made possible by this play from Brayden Schenn. And Matt Reed, he's shown us before, he's got great feet, and he used them on this play.
That is a great play, though, by Brayden Schenn. Ottawa got themselves 6, 7, 8 feet ahead of the paint in front of Andrew Hammond, and that left Matt Reed alone. It's a great pass right there by Brayden Schenn, but Ottawa certainly helped out the cause. Well done.
Reed ends a 9-game goalless drought. He is one guy who is going to be looking to toward 2015, 2016 with a lot of vigor because it was a long year for him. Injury played through the injury for the most part. That's only his 8th goal of the year. Flyers looking for more here as Schenn tried to center. Couturier, Schenn, and Reed have found chemistry here. Schenn was put on the line on the right side as the injury to Wayne Simmonds. Schenn and Couturier both getting points and assists on that goal by Reed, and for Couturier, he's matched a career high with a 6-game point streak, 2 goals and 5 assists. Brayden Schenn seems to love the right wing. That puck deflects out of play. Might create a bit of a dilemma. You have Jake Voracek and Wayne Simmonds on the right wing already on this club.
Well, here's our power back rehabilitation comeback goal. Brayden Schenn right in front to a wide open Matt Reed. Ottawa not have their head on a swivel, and Brayden Schenn makes him pay for it. Reed with the goal. It's a power back rehabilitation comeback goal.
There's no question that Brayden Schenn's addition to that line with Couturier and Reed really the catalyst that set them off offensively. Reed and Couturier excellent defensively all the time, but Brayden Schenn really has added that dimension that didn't seem to be there.
Flyers moving up here. Chris Vandevelde with the puck. Grossman's coming late. There's the pass. Grossman can't quite reach it. They're going to tip it into the corner on the thought. Plays it. White bumps in. Managed threw it to the middle. Now Erik Karlsson moving quickly. Always centered. Blocked aside. Back toward Karlsson. They're getting there first with White, but Karlsson takes it away. Backhanded down low to strike. Erik Karlsson, yeah, there it is, the steal. Karlsson shot, it goes high and wide. I was just about to say, he's not in the conventional positions for a defenseman. And there he was, where a forward usually is to steal that puck.
You mean cherry picking in the slot?
He is, he's a rover, is what he is. And he's very good at it.
Scott Niedermayer was like that. You'd be looking for him at the point, he'd be down in the corner. Tough to adjust to a great skating defenseman like that.
Puck goes all the way down the ice. Schultz together with Jason. The puck bouncing free. Jason still after it. Ronaldo knocks a man down. The puck free. And then sent back up the wall to Weirkosh, who threw it to the middle, but Schultz was ready for that. He starts the puck back the other way. The left wing feed. Nick Cousins holding on into the middle, into the skates of Atkinson. Handles it nicely, but his shot blocked by Weirkosh. He saw the pass, then he blocked, knocked aside by Atkinson. Gotten back by Ottawa. We approach the 4-minute mark of this second period. Tied at 1. Pressure will grow on the Senators if this game stays close into the late stages. Mason turns the puck over for a second time in this game. Very typical of the way he usually handles the puck. Here's MacArthur. All the way across to Mathot. To drill this one wide on purpose. It skips to the corner. MacArthur tried to finesse it through to Stone. Intercepted, but gotten back by MacArthur. His pass blocked by Delzato. He's blocking passes, shots, anything that gets near him here today is Michael Delzato.
Walking rubber magnet.
He's got quite a while after today to recover from the bruises, unfortunately for the Flyers. He's going to have some 6 blocks, as you mentioned, in the first. And he's also gotten in the way of at least 2 or 3 passes toward the slot. And icing is the call.
Got more blocks and saves than the goaltender does.
He does.
That's impressive.
There is Erik Karlsson.
Erik Karlsson with his 66 points. The next 5 defensemen next to him in scoring for defensemen on the Senators team total 67 points. That is what he has meant to the Senators. Leads the team and just eclipses anybody else on the blue line.
There's the turnover that Jimmy was just talking about. Karlsson jumps up right there. It's a place you don't expect him, and you feel like sometimes you're making a breakout. You can make that pass. Can't risk Karlsson out here. You just never know when he's going to jump up.
Well, back to that point of the other 5 guys saying, come on, Karlsson, get going. Atkinson shot blocked by Mathot. Now Mathot has it again. Since he entered the league, Erik Karlsson. That was back in the 09-10 season. No defenseman with as many points. That one dribbles in on Hammond. He'll scoop it up. Voracek set it toward the net. It's over 300 points for Erik Karlsson. And remember, he missed 31 games. That Achilles injury. Still more points than any other defenseman. Kyle Turris heads to the box. The Flyers a power play chance here. They'll try to get their first lead of the afternoon.
Kyle Turris doesn't take that many penalties, but that little torque job on Claude Giroux is enough.
Tell you what, Ottawa better be careful here, because this is one area you don't want to give the Flyers a chance to beat you in the power play at home. And it can. It's done it to a lot of teams this year.
It's okay on the road, but look at the number at home. 28.5%. Team record for home power play for the Flyers. An entire season is 27.8. So the Flyers, unless they have a huge offer here today, are going to set a club record for home ice power play percentage. Faceoff coming out to center here. Ryan White doesn't agree with the call. Neither does Claude Giroux.
Well, it hits somebody on the Flyers bench, so the faceoff has to go to the closest dot to where the puck left the playing surface, and that's why it was faced off there.
Ryan White now having trouble dealing with the checking of Eric Condra, who won the battle with him and got the puck all the way down the ice. But Voracek gets it back, and now the Flyers look to go to the attack. There's the pass to Giroux. And that line pass knocked down by Peugeot, and it was ahead to Condra. Number one-on-one with a quick shot, gloved by Mason. He's going to have to hang on. And Senators will take the offensive zone draw while shorthanded.
It's a good play by Condra. Follow the shot, force Steve Mason to keep it in his glove and get a face-off in the Flyers zone. Thinking man's penalty-killing play.
This team has played with, it would seem, more smarts since a coaching change was made, as that shot goes wide. Dave Cameron 31-15-8 is taking over for Paul McLean. Broadcasters get to select the Adams Trophy winners, Coach of the Year. We have our hands full this year, guys. There are a zillion candidates. It's going to be very difficult. There's Matt Reed off the stick of Atkinson, back around behind, and then back out to Couturier. Second unit out for the Flyers. Delzato to Atkinson. Looks in the middle. Gets it to Raffl for the shot. Saved by Hammond. Just calmly flashed the pad out and denied Raffl. Little pass there from Atkinson.
It's an underrated save. Man.
Delzato. Shot pass back to Couturier. Left wing dish for Atkinson. Try to turn it back. Fan now tries to go cross ice, and that's intercepted by Peugeot, who picks up speed. In across the line. Peugeot to the back end. Couldn't get a shot on goal as Delzato hustled back to impede him. Now the Flyers move it up. Raffl cutting to the middle. Deals for Reed. It gets through him to Atkinson. That's a pass where Atkinson might be able to make it at the AHL level, but NHL everything just a little bit quicker, and you don't get enough on it, it's trouble. Condra trying to clear, kept in. Into the middle is Streit. Pass down low. Now the pass in front and a redirection try by Atkinson, and Hammond is there. Power play is over. Senators back to full strength. Hurst, neat little move, cuts in and then center, but off the stick of Grossman. Condra will swing it around behind the net. It gets past Carlson. Voracek couldn't get it through Lazar. Voracek after it again, but he stopped. And Giroux will throw it back to the Philadelphia line. Here's Grossman. Up it deep. Giroux back behind the net. Flyers have it. Shen centering. Voracek stopped by Hammond. The Hamburglar is up to it again. The Senators will move the puck to center. Lazar is turned back. Virkash chopped it ahead. MacArthur drops it to Lazar, but offside, or is it too many men on the ice? We'll tell you when we come back.
Current Flyers are tied 1-1 with the Senators here in the second period, and we want to let you know you can spend a weekend on and off the ice with your favorite Flyers legends during the first ever Flyers Alumni Fantasy Camp. It's August 21 to the 24th. It's in Atlantic City, and registration is open now. Visit PhiladelphiaFlyers.com/fantasy camp. Bob Kelly was telling me before the game that Dave Schultz is going to be there, Brian Propp, a list of other alumni greats. So good chance to don the blades and, well, let the Broad Street Bullies do what they did best.
In other words, the gloves are going to hit the ice.
I feel bad for the opposition if that's the case.
Yes.
I was going to say, come ready. Come to the camp ready to go.
Bernie Parent there, the final shot. We never got a chance to officially wish Bernie a happy 70th birthday, which took place last week. Here's Hoffman moving up. That shot dribbles wide. Certainly. This is long to Bernie Parent. It's a beautiful thing, Bernie.
Yes, it is.
There's Ronaldo chipping it in, trying to get deep into the Ottawa zone. He does center it. He's had it covered a little, but sat there for him. Ronaldo gets it back in the slot. He dribbled away from him. He gets it back, turns and fires. Save Hammond. And no further play.
Frustrating for Zach Ronaldo because he had it on his tape right between the hash marks and it slipped away. But Andrew Hammond has not only been the answer for the Senators over the last couple of months, he has been close to unbeatable here in this game. Pad saves in close. Anything that's a scramble, he looks like he's in control of. And even when he looks like he's out of control, he finds a way to make the save.
He allowed 2 goals or less in each of his first 12 starts, so there was nothing to this NHL.
And even the games that didn't happen, he still ended up winning some of those contests.
Yeah, right after that. That's how you build that 19-1-2 record that he had.
He's going to be looking for a better league pretty soon.
There's his shot that he handles off the stick of Ryan White. 22 shots now for the Flyers. Well, last week, Philly sports fans were buzzing about the premiere week of Breakfast on Broad with guest appearances by the likes of Jay Sutley, Kurt Schilling, Bernard Hopkins, Pat Gillick, Jim Kramer, Malcolm Jenkins, Bob Boone, Al Michaels, and yes, T.O. Well, don't miss out. Wake up with Breakfast on Broad weekdays from 6 to 8 over on the Comcast Network. Bill Clement, did you make an appearance yet?
Not yet. He's a little further down the list.
Booked for 3 days next week.
Come on, Bill Clement, T.O. That's pretty close. Don't you think? Or maybe you're not up that early. I don't know.
No, I'm definitely up that early.
Okay. All right, there you go.
Just a little further down the list.
Breakfast on Broad producers, you've heard it here first. Bill Clement. Beyond that show. Here's Ryan White after it. Great way to get your day started. Mr. Sports and entertainment, humor. And that's what you're all about, Bill. Sports, entertainment, and humor.
I got enough agents already. I don't need you.
I want 10%. Here's Ryan White. Dropping it off for Manning. There's trying to get set up in the offensive zone. Atkinson around behind, gets some room. Atkinson and tried to turn it in front, but it went behind the net instead. Flyers with a 9-2 advantage in shots this period. 23-6 for the game. And the puck hit with a high stick. Flyers thought they were about to get their 24th shot on goal, but the whistles stopped the action. We went to break. We were thinking there might have been too many men on the ice penalty, but actually what they were signaling was the player was still on the ice going to the bench, so it was an offside play. Flyers not on the foul.
The Flyers have really taken a better blue-collar approach to this game than the Ottawa Senators. The Sens are trying to make finesse plays when they get into the Flyer zone. Flyers are just getting pucks to Andrew Hammond any way they can, trying to get rebounds, trying to get people screening. Ryan White absolutely in the mix in just about every shift. The Senators, now that the Flyers have settled down defensively, the Senators, they're going to have trouble generating something unless they start doing fundamental things better. The finesse plays are not available the way the Flyers are defending now in their own zone.
Yeah, and the Flyers are playing a real aggressive north-south type game. Ottawa did early in the first period. Since then, you're right, they've been trying to finesse their way through. That's not going to happen.
Guys, you guys both played the game. I mean, as we move along here, we're about to pass the midpoint of regulation time. Are the Senators starting to think, oh my God, it's a tie game, we've got to get this game to overtime, or is that not even entered, or are you just focused on the game?
Well, I'll tell you what, it'll be a different story if it's 2-1. That's for sure. But right now, you know, they're playing it out. But I would think they're thinking themselves, Billy, that they're not playing the kind of game that's got them, you know, 21-1-2 over the last however many games, 24 games.
The mistake they can make is if they play for a tie. Right? They know that 1 point will get them into the playoffs, and that would be a mistake to play for the tie.
That puck got out to center, brought back in offside. 9:50 to go in period number 2, and it is tied.
Flyers Senators tied at 1 here midway through the second. Time to take a look now at our Wells Fargo great check of the game. And here's Michael Del Zotto getting his body in between the puck and David Legwand. That's a great hit, and it is the Wells Fargo great check of the game.
Well, he's been doing pretty much everything in this game. 6 blocks.
Sometimes the play follows you, the puck follows you, the game just seems to be where you are. That's one of those games for Michael Del Zotto.
It will be an interesting offseason for Michael Del Zotto, a restricted free agent. Flyers have indicated they're interested.
You mentioned the guys that kind of were resurrecting their careers here, including Carlo Coliaco and Nick Schultz. Nick Schultz is the only one of the guys we have talked about in this game that has been extended, that has that 2-year deal that the Flyers signed him to. Delzato, Coliaco, a couple of other players still looking. Yeah, Ryan White still looking for new contracts.
Kosh with the pass here to Connor. Back across for Peugeot, and his shot was blocked. He had a double clutch. And that gave the Flyers time to get in defensive position. Now Jake Voracek the other way up the right wing, slowing down as he gets to the line, all the way across. Delzato up on the rush. Centers in it, ricochets in, but cool collected. Just bats that one away, and down the ice he goes. This will be icing against Ottawa.
Jake Voracek coming close to picking up an assist. If he can pick up 1 point in this game, he is guaranteed to finish as a point-per-game guy this season, because he is 81 points in 81 games right now. Michael Delzato in the middle of it again. That puck hit him. At least half of his blocks, I could swear, he's not trying to make the block. He's just
getting in the way.
Yeah.
And again, he's blocked at least 3 passes I can remember that were going to be dangerous plays in front. Those don't go down as blocks. So he's getting in the way of everything. It's getting to be a pain for this Ottawa team that needs a win, at least to get to overtime so badly. Rava sends that one all the way down. Again, icing against the Senators. 8:48 to play here in the second. The shots are now 24-7 in favor of the Flyers. Dave Cameron took over early in the season. I mentioned his record as coach is 31-15-8. And they stand 1 point from a playoff berth because of a tremendous rush that they have gone on since mid-February. They are the best team in the NHL. But they need to finish. There's Atkinson. Shot cleared away by Hammond. All the way out to Lazar. Flyers get it back to the point. Come back down low by Koliakovo. Little head fake from Cousins, and then his pass too hot to handle the backhand by Koliakovo. Brandon Manning has to go back and retrieve for Philadelphia. Senators changing. Manning's pass off Ronaldo and grabbed by Hammond. The Flyers now trying to change. Hammond trying to hustle things up the ice, but Hoffman had to reach back. Now he's got the puck. Weaves his way in across the line. Spins back with it. Goes cross ice to Methot. Methot just sending it along the wall to Ryan. He was checked. And what? Knocked down. Hoffman spinning with the puck. Deals it in along the wall. Ryan has it. Back out to Methot. But possession here for the Senators. Ryan has shot the pad save by Mason. Belmar body lost it. Shot goes wide by Hoffman. Carlson chopped one toward the slot. Bounces off his advantage at back to Carlson. His shot here goes wide. Suddenly the Senators turning on the offensive pressure. Mason felt that, and he puts a stop to play. And not a stop to the pushing and shoving. Corner. Another gathering, and guess who's involved for the Flyers?
Ryan White.
Ryan White. So while they discuss things, we will head to our GMC NHL update. There is one other game going on in the NHL right now. The Capitals and Rangers. Capitals trying to wrap up home ice in the first round, wearing their alternate jerseys, but the Rangers have other ideas. Kevin Hayes has scored in this game and gave the Rangers a 1-0 lead, and this one credited to Derek Brassard. Made it 2-0. Dominic Moore, another goal. Make it 3-0 before Alexander Ovechkin scored his 53rd of the year to make it 3-1. But if Washington loses that game, did you see the updated score? Washington loses that game, the door remains open for the Islanders to still claim second place in the Metropolitan Division and home ice in their series with the Caps.
One of only a couple of matchups that are decided as we entered action here this afternoon. That Washington Islanders matchup in the first round.
Yeah, the Islanders played home against Columbus tonight, so they're playing another hot team.
Senators buzzing here. They get it out in front. Bounces all the way out. Greiba couldn't handle it. Now Zach Smith is there. Schultz will tip it to Delzato. Delzato off the glass, hoping for Voracek. He moves him. Orvietsky sends it back to the Philadelphia line, and there is Jason. Get it deep into the Philadelphia end of the ice. Schultz tips to Voracek. Jake Voracek finding some room with speed through center. Surrounded by white jerseys. Weave to the left wing. Voracek in front. Tip, but not on goal by Raffl. He's got it now. Raffle turning it back to the point. Straight all the way across. Grossman shot. Save Hammond. Rebound right out in front. All the way back to Straight for a shot. Blocked. Bounces back out here. Stone after it. He'll get to it at the Philadelphia line. Stone in the middle. And now Cece drops it off, but it's stolen. Lou got back, and he finds Shen. Shen's pass for Reed, tipped away. Reed will get to it off the boards, deep in Ottawa ice. 6:13 remaining in this second period.
Kyle Turris was able to clear the puck. Luckily, his glove was there. He played about 35 seconds on that shift with only one glove.
That is dangerous.
That's kind of dangerous. And don't forget, you can take the Flyers with you wherever you go. You can get the latest updates, buy tickets, and more with the Flyers mobile app. It's available for download now in the Apple app and Google Play stores. Kyle Turris, it was such an interesting scene to watch Kyle Turris skating around without his glove because he was trying not to get involved. There he is with his glove in his hand in the air. He was trying not to get involved, but there were times he had to get involved with only one glove. It's so dangerous. It does not take much without the glove to break a bone in your hand or your finger.
Condra to Lazar. Centers! Mason sprawls out denies. Pajot, the whistle blew. And play is stopped, but again, more pushing and shoving. Well, the Flyers rather upset here as Braden Shen ready to go.
The 2015 Hobey Baker Memorial Award is Jack Eichel, Boston University.
Jack Eichel receiving the Hobey Baker Award yesterday. The second freshman to win this. The other one, Paul Correa. Actually, that was back in my day. So, you know what? That's a long time, a long span between them. This guy's the real deal. He will be the second pick in the NHL draft this summer. And a dynamic player. It really, really going to be interesting to see how McDavid and him do in college. And tonight, guys, the real deal, BU against Providence College, my alma mater. That should be a fantastic game at 7:30 tonight.
So, Flyers taking that game, Bundy?
I don't know, Jimmy. It's tough. I mean, they got a guy like Eichel. BU's pretty loaded. They always have the top recruiting classes. Providence is playing really well. I think it's going to be a really, really good hockey game, though.
Great save by Mason. And the whistle blew, and then the pushing and shoving. And out of all that, Braden Shen, perhaps that last shot there, gets the only penalty.
That was little J.G. Pajot for the Ottawa Senators in the middle of it all. Looked kind of like a piñata there for a second. He was getting it from all angles from Flyers, and Braden Shen landed the last good right to the chin. And that's why Shen is sitting.
Mason does make a great save, though. It's a lot of heavy traffic by Ottawa going to the front of the net. See Pajot right there before he just got completely jumped in every way. Great play by Zach Condra coming in, I believe, with Pajot.
They'll allow you the first shot or two to get a guy off your goaltender, but ruling there that more than one or two.
6 is too many.
There you go. So, big power play opportunity for Ottawa. Turris trying to get that back to Carlson, but it got past the Ottawa captain and down the ice. We'll go back and get it. Erik Karlsson, only 24 years of age. Gains the line. Holds it to the corner. Weirkoff. Turning it to MacArthur. Spinning it up the wall to Turris. Set up. 40 seconds into the power play. Across it comes to Karlsson. Turris back to Karlsson. Better passing so far. Karlsson, the shot. It bounces high in the air off the save. Stone could not jam it home, and it's cleared all the way down by Reed.
And I think Stone had a chance there because Steve Mason looked for a split second like he lost sight of where the puck was.
Yeah, it's Stone. The puck was up in the air, Billy. It wasn't shoulder high. Had he not knocked it out, it would have counted for sure.
He went to the bench, though, looking skyward, so clearly frustrated. That puck all the way down, and Hammond reaching up to make the grab. Might be able to play shortstop, too. Here's Karlsson. 37 seconds on the power play as the Senators get the puck in. Grossman. Manning chop away at it. Ryan goes down to the ice as he gets it back out to Karlsson. And now Cece with a shot. Got it away and then bounces to Grossman, who got it off the glove of Ryan. Ryan keeping it in once, but not the second time. As the Flyers persisted, Michael Raffle clears the zone. Now Karlsson ahead for Zibanejad. He's hit Right wing feed for Ryan. The shot gloved easily by Mason. He saw it all the way, and play is stopped.
Senators getting some pucks to Steve Mason, but he's able to see them all and grab most of them. Then again, the Senators have not come with a blue-collar approach of just getting pucks to Mason and try to get there with a snarl. One time they did, they were able to draw the penalty. That was J.G. Pajot and Curtis Lazar that were both there. But besides that, Flyers have been masterful at keeping the Senators to the outside.
You'd think the shots on goal, looking at the clock, 26-11 for the Flyers. Last game of the year against a desperate team would maybe be flipped the other way. But Flyers have been very, very aggressive in this game, and they've done a good job keeping Ottawa on their heels.
Let's be quite honest, though. A lot of block shots for the Flyers.
Yes, tons.
Here's Mathot moving in. And the center, it drifts into the blue pen. They score! Pajot tips it in from in close. And the Senators retake the lead. It is 2-1 here late in period number 2.
Well, Pajot is the Senators' little man, and he has played with more heart than anybody that is dressed in Senators colors so far. He deserved this one just by getting to the net.
And similar to the one right before it, Bill, you're right. He just stays in the fight. He ended up getting clobbered before that in that last scrum we just showed you. And then he stays in it, goes to the front of the net. Brayden Schenn not able to lift the stick. And a loose free puck slipped past Steve Mason off the stick of J.G. Pajot.
Pajot has scored goals in 3 straight games. Another remarkable story. They listed at 5'9", 175. I doubt it. And he's been an American Hockey League player for the most part. He's come up and supplied a lot. He needed speed and grit for this team. So the Senators now have the lead 2-1. 3:22 to go in the second. Zach Smith. Jason bodied by Delzato. Moves the puck along the boards. Knocked down by Delzato, who forces the puck ahead. Ronaldo could not clear. Riva will keep it deep again, and Ottawa goes back to work. Zach Smith check. Down was Cousins. The puck to Chiasson. Drop it off. And Pajot back out. They say it was still in the zone. Borvansky kept it in the zone. They spin it down low. Check, but Cousins who falls down, and Pajot will get to the puck. Back out to Mathot. Mathot back to Pajot and around to the other side. A game of keep away right now for Ottawa. Ryder trying to center. That was blocked. He was then dumped. Ronaldo another chance to clear the puck will roll to Atkinson. And the Flyers will finally get the puck out of the zone. It's Atkinson moving up. Atkinson shot in. It actually was tipped by Senator in on goal. The save made by him. 2:17 left in the period is Mathot. Bounce one to the left of Mason. Grossman. Strike. And now it's Giroux. And he will send Voracek to center, and he gets to Raffl. Raffl turns, fires! Turning around behind him, the puck is behind him, but he lays back down on top, and play is stopped. Hammond immediately realized he didn't have the puck, and then I was going by the reaction of the people behind the net.
Right.
Had an understanding that puck was loose. We couldn't really see it.
Well,
yeah.
You saw what Andrew Hammond did. He looked to see if he could locate the puck, and he had the sense that it was going to be loose or at least coming through behind him. Watch what he does. That's a smart play. He just decides to lie down on his back before it rolled across the goal line. What a thinking man's play here by Andrew Hammond.
He hamburglarized it, Bill.
Did.
Yes. Did he ever in that one?
That was medium rare.
And since Keith Jones isn't here, I'll say it. Grimaces for all the fans here at Wells Fargo Center. Flyers have the puck back. Here's Voracek in the slot. Grossman shot! And Hammond just accepts that one in the midsection and puts a halt to play.
Let's take a look at our Independence Blue Cross fearless play of the hockey game. Steve Mason going back a couple chips, quick play out in front of Curtis Lazar. J.G. Pajot. Mason falls back on his back. That's paying the price when you have guys going there making a commotion and traffic in the net. Steve Mason, the Independence Blue Cross fearless play of the game.
And you could also give it to Pajot because he took a lot of the punishment, and he'll take it every time if it's going to lead to a power play where he scores the goal.
Been making a lot of noise for a little guy in this game.
He can fly too, can't he, guys?
Yep.
Amazing speed.
Flyers have the puck in center. It's Couturier swooping on in. Couturier around behind, out the other side. Finds straight for a shot, and a save by Hammond. Oliakovo will blast one, deflected wide by Reed. Late period pressure from the Flyers now. Aiden Shen. Lay it back to the defense. Flyers look to organize the attack. It's Strike. Off the stick into the Ottawa zone. We ticked out the final minute of the second period. Carlson, Bournemouth. Now ahead it goes. That puck will drift all the way to Koliakovo. His pass back to finds White. Handing off Elmar, but he was quickly checked. The Senators get it back. Mathon for Carlson. White tries to slam into him. The puck, Mathon and now Ryan in and out through center ice. Elmar having trouble with it in his own line. Koliakovo, the redirection try by White got caught up in skates and sticks. And Manning has it back for Philadelphia. Koliakovo and now ahead. Flyers with their own line. That puck ahead finally to Mandevelde. Mandevelde stops, turns back. Carries toward the slot, drops it up for Delzato. Winds it, fires! Save Hammond. Through some traffic, he never moved, and he swallows the puck.
That's one name you've mentioned an awful lot here today, Jimmy, is Michael Delzato. Left for his blocks. Here's his offense. Good shot here. Quick play back to the point. Delzato looks, head up, gets a good shot through.
Andrew Hammond might be the only name mentioned more than Michael Delzato, and that's happened 30 times. 30 shots for the Flyers. One has gotten by Hamburg. I almost want to call him naturally Hamburglar instead of Hammond.
I believe there's a story, right? He's been given food at McDonald's for the rest of his life, pretty much. Delzato goes back. True story, yeah.
What's he do when he drives into like a McDonald's in the middle of nowhere? Says, hey, I'm the Hamburglar. I need a free meal.
Yeah, he's got a card, and he was very quick to point out that they do have the low-fat items now at McDonald's, so he could do it without putting on weight during the offseason. Look at those numbers. Best ever through 22 decisions for an NHL goaltender in terms of points percentage for his team. And he has not lost a regulation on the road at all. Voracek, that one goes off the stick of Prava and out of play. Just a tenth of a second. Oh, now the horn blows, and the period, I believe, is over or not. They're going to go to the timer. There was actually a tenth of a second when the puck did deflect out of play, and then all of a sudden it was gone.
G's going to argue here that there might have been 0.8 of a second. That's what it looked like when it went up, and we'll see what they add on here.
Yeah, there will be another face-off.
Yeah, it looks like 5. I saw the ref up with a 5, so I wonder if that's
1.5.
1.5.
Well, that's way too much. But
I don't
Flyers
know.
will take it.
I think it's about right. And people might think, well, what are you going to do with this? I've seen it happen before, and Steve Mason is going to the bench because there's no way Ottawa can win a draw and get it down the ice. But the puck can get to the front of the net and even be redirected in. Second and a half takes a little bit to tick off.
Nervous time for Brian Murray and anyone involved with the Ottawa organization as they try to wrap up a playoff berth. Now they've recongregated at the officials, and they're going to go to the situation.
Yeah, they're looking at this clock again. I'm telling you, that's too much, 1.5. When I looked up, it was at 0.8, and it went all the way down after the whistle to 0.1. So they're going to look at it here closely. Giroux's argued it. He went right to the refs immediately.
Well, if this was a game 2 nights ago featuring the Carolina Hurricanes and the Flyers, both of whom are out of the playoffs, this conversation most likely would not even be occurring. But the Ottawa Senators, with at least a point in this game, can get to the playoffs. So this is of meaning, this last second or two or whatever they decide.
Meaning to these guys, they had already gone to the locker room and come back out to make sure they see the final whatever we have left here in the second period.
You're all right, though, Billy. You can do it with 1.5. It's got to be a quick draw forward and guys going to the net.
It's over a second when the whistle blew.
It is.
And I think we're going to hold to 1.5 here.
99 times out of 100 after a great delay, very little happens. We'll see.
All right, Giroux will go to the net directly here. 1.5 on the clock. It's Peugeot. And He didn't drop the puck. We're down to 1/10 of a second again in the clock.
This one's a different scenario here now.
I can tell with certainty, guys. 1.5 now after that.
It was still a good fake by Claude Giroux. He had the backhand look, and he faked the backhand and then went to the forehand.
Oh, remember how quickly the Islanders scored late in the game earlier this week off of a draw. But that necessitated a pass. Giroux chopped at it, but Pajot knocked it down, and that will finally do it for period number 2. Each team scoring a goal here in the period. It's a 2-1 Ottawa lead through 2 periods of play with Pajot having the goal. It is the difference right now. Today's Flyers Senators second period was brought to you by Rothman Institute at Jefferson, exclusive orthopedic and healthcare provider of the Philadelphia Flyers. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. And by your local Chevy dealers. Intermission Live brought to you by your Delaware Valley Honda dealers is next. John Borg, Al Morganti analyze things here from Wells Fargo Center after this. Today's third period on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Tonight's Powerball jackpot now has an estimated annuity of $80 million. Pennsylvania Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. Players must be 18 years or older.
And our numbers from the second period here in this 2-1 hockey game with the Senators ahead. The Flyers are dominant in shots on goal, but the Flyers have kept the Sens shots down by being shot blocking demons, especially Michael Del Zotto. It's a close hockey game with Ottawa leading, and a single point will get them into the playoffs. That second period had Matt Reed tie it for the Flyers, and then Jean-Gabriel Pajot with the go-ahead goal. We'll see what the Senators can bring here in the third period. The Flyers have really put together a spirited effort for their last game of the season, even though in the standings this is a nothing game for them and will not affect them moving up or down, making or missing the playoffs. For the Senators, a completely different story.
As for the Senators, a point and they are in. So they just need to have an even third period here. They're on their way to the playoffs.
Let's take a look at the Hyundai save of the game. Andrew Hammond against Michael Rafflot. It's the one where he hamburglared it. He made a big save as he was rolling back. I don't think it would have had enough puncher to go by, but nonetheless, great effort. The Hyundai save of the game.
He's been very good. He's been very busy. 29 saves.
Well, you can make this year the year you become a season ticket member, and you will enjoy an all-new interest-free payment plan through February of 2016. Just call 215-218-PUCK to get in on the action.
So we get set to start this third period. Flyers, final full period of the season. We'll go to overtime, of course. Underway. Schultz will get to Michael Del Zotto. Every Flyer except Chris Vandevelde has a shot on goal in this game. Still have just under 20 minutes to play. Icing the call here against Philadelphia. Go all the way back into Philadelphia ice. There is the guy who put Ottawa on top. Gabriel Pajot, 10th of the year. So for Ottawa, again, you know that this close to completing this remarkable journey of getting to the playoffs, so it's on their minds to play defensively, but they don't want to sit back either. They already allowed 30 shots. That delicate balance of staying on the attack while being conscientious defensively. There's a potential penalty, but not called as Carlson took Couturier away from the play. And now Turris move it ahead. Right to Del Zotto, who fired it back to the Ottawa line. Carlson across to Mathon. Mark Mathon for Turris. Guides it to the Philadelphia zone, and right there is Strike. Strike, 52-point season. The top 10 NHL Blue Liners in points. Flyers get it in for Bellemare. Angle shot goes right on through the blue paint. Strike does keep it in for Bellemare. Red wire Bellemare. Peeling off the wall with it. Bellemare now changing direction as he tries to get away from Graba. Flips one. Save made by Hammond.
Hammond was going the wrong way too. Bellemare with a very quick release.
Yeah, you're right, Billy. Hamburglar was going to his left. The puck was going right, just eluding that far post.
Now the puck is dug loose. Curtis Lazar tied up by Streit. White gets it back to Vandevelde. Gets it around behind for Streit. Streit out the other side. Got it in front. It was denied. Back out in front it goes, and Hammond pokes it out of harm's way, and finally it deflects off of Borowiecki to the neutral zone. Ghostman drills it back in. White first to it. Ryan White check. And Cody Ceci will bank it out through center ice. Paolo Koliakovo. Fields to Voracek. Voracek stop. Puck taken by Bobby Ryan. Ryan into the right wing. Feathers it through. Nobody could get there for Ottawa. Hoffman back around looking for Ryan. Ties up Koliakovo. And then falls down, does Bobby Ryan. And the Flyers have the puck. Brandon Manning ahead. Voracek gets the legs moving through center. There's it wide of the net. Now Raffl for Voracek. Untended. Voracek trying to step in front. Could not. Raffl. Check, but there's Voracek. Holding on. Back out. Shot wide from Manning. And then it hit the referee on the carom. Vanejad for Ryan. Could not clear. Jam back deep. There's Giroux. Centering it off a skate back through to Zibanejad. And the Senators will move up. Bobby Ryan lugging to center ice. Decides to carry on. Ryan. Behind the Philadelphia net wrapped up there. Koliakovo goes to the boards with Legwand and comes away with a puck, but it's cleared, knocked away. Legwand got it out in front. Mason closed the door. And Koliakovo, and the whistle blows. Flyers never did get that puck to the goaltender, but the whistle stopped play.
That's a pretty interesting stoppage of play, since Steve Mason never did have the puck, not even once.
Yeah, never, Bill. You're right. Good pickup by you guys.
Draw to the right of Mason. It's a Sherrod. Lost sight of it. Blew it dead. And the Senators gain control. Flip shot there from the thought, handled easily by Mason. Let's get the answer to today's Jeep trivia question of the game. And it was 2002-2003 when the Senators atop the hockey world in the regular season with the President's Trophy. Senators have qualified for the postseason in 14 of their last 17 years. Those 3 misses have all come in the last 6 years. They are bound and determined here today to not have this be a year where they miss. 16:54 away.
Well, let's take a look at our Toyota turning point of the hockey game, and we'll go back to the second period. Quick play in front. Curtis Lazar moves it in there. J.G. Pageau gets the garbage on the far doorstep. And that made it 2-1 Ottawa. That's where we sit at this point. 16:54 to go.
Draw just outside the Philadelphia line. The Senators gain control. Carlson rifles it in. Mason got his stick on it. Corrals it. Schultz. Ronaldo back for Nick Schultz. And for Atkinson. 13th game of the year with the Flyers. Missed Ronaldo with that pass. Ronaldo does finish off Carlson as they went to the boards together. Zach Smith has the puck. Ronaldo and Carlson still tangled up. The Smith starts up. His pass finds Legwand and then bounces through. Drop back. That shot by Chiasson goes wide. Atkinson lost his stick momentarily. He's got it back. Here's Legwand. Whistling with Cousins. Now Delzano guiding it. Atkinson and ahead to Ronaldo, who lost control, and it's sent back to the Philadelphia zone. We approach the 4-minute mark of this third period. Still 2-1 Ottawa. Atkinson moving up. Puts it off in the left wing, but Couturier could not maneuver past Gryba. Gryba misses Stone with that pass. Mason misses the puck behind the net, so it's Streit in the middle. Redirected by Couturier, right on the money to Braden Shen. Shen cuts to the middle and then flips it into the corner, and Gryba is able to get to that. Slide that ahead. MacArthur. There's the Philadelphia line. Now Streit makes it back to Ottawa ice. Not much happening here in terms of scoring chances as the team's shutting things down defensively. Turris stopped at his own line. Right there is Mark Stone. Back across ice to Borowiecki. And now Stone gains the Philadelphia line and gives to Turris, who winds and fires. Glove save made by Mason. Just to reiterate the scenarios for these Senators, pretty clear. A point, and they're in the playoffs. A win, and they will finish no lower than the first wild card. A win and a Detroit regulation loss against Carolina later on. And the Senators end up in third place in the Atlantic Division. But if they lose in regulation, the Ottawa Senators then need a regulation loss by Pittsburgh or any kind of loss by Boston tonight in order to even get into the playoffs.
I mean, you go almost 10 weeks trying to make moves like Ottawa has, like just to keep climbing, and it comes down to the last day, and they can wind up in third in that division. That's incredible. How it all unfolded like that.
I mean, mid-February, there's no way. I don't think you could find any hockey fan or observer who would have seen this. I don't know, even Brian Murray might have not seen this coming, because you just don't see 20 wins, 3 regulation losses, 3 overtime or shootout losses, a stretch like that over 26 games that often.
And it's already a good year for Canadian-based teams, because 4 will make it. If the Senators get in, 5 of the 7 Canadian-based teams will make it to the playoffs. So good on Canada and good on the teams that make it. The Edmonton Oilers and the Toronto Maple Leafs are just about a foregone conclusion every year not to make it. No offense, but that's the truth.
Of late, that's for sure. Congratulations to those Calgary Flames. Another great story.
How about that? Yeah. LA
eliminating the Kings and heading to the playoffs, ending their drought. And the Winnipeg Jets end their long drought, which carry back to the days as the Thrashers. Playoffs will have some newcomers. Fresh blood will be interesting to watch for sure. Here's Nathan into the Philadelphia zone. Mason cuts it off. Got it ahead to Voracek. Voracek's pass handled by Bellemare. Bellemare, though, closed off by Carlson. Carlson will move it to Jason. He is checked, and the Flyers get it back. Here's Delzato. 6 minutes into this third period. 5 shots in the third. Many testers, though. Handled by Hammond as he guides it to Carlson. Now to Zibanejad. Zibanejad. Straight line into the Philadelphia zone, and the shot, and it's batted away by Mason. Rude Stone off the boards, but back to Carlson, and he got it to MacArthur for a shot, and a save by Mason. Now it's Delzato losing the puck in front of his own net. It bounces away to Turris. Turris, center, Stone shot, and Mason closes the door. Couple of tough saves in that sequence for Mason. Keeps it a 1-goal game. Period action in this big hockey game as we welcome you inside the booth here, the Wells Fargo Center. This is our final broadcast of the year, the final game for the Flyers. For only the 3rd time in the last 2 decades they will not be in the playoffs, but we want to take this time to thank everyone with the Flyers organization from the top on down. John Tilger, Paul Holmgren, Ron Hextall, Barry Hanrahan, Director of Team Services Brian Hardenberg, for all the help they give us all season long, because without their help, and certainly the players and the coaching staff as well, our job has become much more difficult. Public Relations Department headed by Zach Hill, Joe Seville, Ryan Smith, great job of giving us the information and helping make our jobs easier during the course of the long NHL season.
Well, we take the game to the air, but our prep and getting ready and getting information and preparing to broadcast cannot happen without the help of so many people that you mentioned, Jimmy.
At the end of the broadcast, we'll roll credits on our crew, and I'll take this time, since I probably won't have time then, to thank everybody, all the men and women in our crews, both home and road, for the jobs they do, because they really are the hard workers. It's pretty easy what we do, really, when it comes right down to it, but putting these shows together, I don't think fans really have an idea of all the work that goes into it. And our crews have been doing a great job all season long. Mike Cooper, producer. John Alexiak is the executive producer of live events at Comcast Sportsnet, puts it all together. And Brian Cooper on down. And just a great job of Ely, Graver, Mike Mulligan. And then all the great cameramen, Greg Farnese's of the world. Bud Finn up here in the booth. There's Koliakovo with a shot that's blocked. Bud Finn is our stage manager, none better. They've done great job throughout the season, and certainly our thanks to them. Try to make us look good. It's a difficult task.
Some nights tougher than others.
Here is Michael Delzato getting the puck into the Ottawa zone. Senators have done a good job so far, fellas, in shutting the Flyers down here in the third.
They have. You mentioned a tightly played third period so far. The Sens will take that with a 2-1 lead. They get a point out of this game. They go to the playoffs.
We spoke of cameramen. There's Andy Rabel, who catches baseballs with the best of them when he's shooting Phillies games. Does a great job here on the Flyers broadcast as well. This is not an easy game to cover from a camera person's standpoint. That puck is small and it's moving quickly.
The guys make it look easy.
Madwall there with the he's got to actually carry the camera. That's Stephen Tuffman. Senators have the puck in the offensive zone. Ceci sends it in along, and there's Stone. Shoved to the boards by Grossman and separated from the puck. Flyers will move it back. Here's Ryan White. Winding it in. Skips to the corner. Vandevelde. Bellemare. They're just trying to create some offense here. White worked on by Weirkoch. Drop it back for Bellemare. Bellemare trying to find some room here. Goes to Grossman. Grossman will wind and pass. Streit, who's down low. Hard Streit. Get into the corner boards. Good job by the Senators, just ending the Flyers in. Now it's back to Grossman. Around behind the net. Weirkoch cuts it off. Flyers swarm upon him. Bellemare escaped momentarily with it. Got it to Vandevelde. Back to Bellemare, but just so little room to work with. Now they switch positions. Bellemare will move it back to Streit. Drifting, looking for a seam. Streit holds, gets to Bellemare. There's a shot. Get a body in front. Ceci comes away with it and clears the zone.
All right, good job by the Sens, because both Ryan White and Chris Vandevelde were in behind the D-men in front of Hammond, and the D-men for Ottawa just fronted the two Flyers and were able to knock the puck down and get it out of harm's way.
Vandevelde redirects this one into the Ottawa zone. Ceci is there. Outside is Thought. In the middle, Pajot. Lazar is stopped. Cousins couldn't get the puck deep. Ronaldo barrels into Condra. The puck squirts to Delzato. Manning gets it in. Back is Erik Karlsson up the board. Delzato's waiting for that. Quick shot, and it made it through as it really decapitated Atkinson as he was heading to the net. Now Ronaldo barrels into the pile. Got ahead though, and Condra has it. Gets the legs moving through center ice. Condra by Delzato, who takes the puck away. Michael Delzato. Flutter that one into the Ottawa zone, but it will go for icing. Past the midpoint of this third period.
Well, interested in what's happening off the ice? Follow Flyers community and Flyers publicist on Twitter for updates, behind-the-scenes photos, community events, and a whole lot more. And there will be a big Flyers influence on the community this summer. Flyers fantasy camp taking place down in Atlantic City. Bob Kelly in that last shot. The Hounds will be down there.
Cousins and Zibanejad on this draw to the left of Mason. It's taken by Ryan, who puts it wide. Thought. Down low, Ryan, body, but showing some strength. Right, a one-handed into the slot. Slides through to Atkinson. We'll move it to Ronaldo. Backhand in, the Flyers will change. Down to 9 minutes remaining in the third period. Senators still lead by one. Zibanejad. Get that to Jason. Reed is there, pestering him. Koliakovo across. Manning did not see Ryan coming until the last second. He did keep the puck away from him. Get it to Koliakovo, and now Couturier. On Couturier. Got it in. Karlsson takes it back. Now MacArthur. MacArthur. No particular hurry. Just softly plays it into Philadelphia's zone. Flyers in our back, but Burris will not get cleared out.
Senators have made the right play and the smart play at the Flyers blue line on every rush. A 2-on-2. No point in trying to make a play. No point in trying to do anything that's unnecessarily fancy. Here with just about 8 minutes to go and a 2-1 advantage and a chance to make the playoffs.
Voracek stripped by Stone, who scores! The incredible rookie season of Mark Stone continues. His second goal of the game. He stole the puck from Voracek and makes it 3-1 Ottawa.
What a player he has become. Hardly on anybody's radar at the start of this hockey season. But number 61 for the Senators with that little pick of the pocket on Jake Voracek, and then so calm as he deposited it through Steve Mason.
You know what's as impressive is the fact that he stripped the puck and he never got the stick in there to trip Voracek when he did it. That was just so subtle, so polite. The whole play was very silky. Guys, and what a great finish by him, too.
Ryan Murray, a happy guy with that goal from the rookie. Voracek gets the puck here to Giroux. Flyers now down 2. Strike got it to Voracek's side of the net, but he couldn't do anything with that. Stone, by the way, that's not a coincidence. He leads the NHL in takeaways. You don't see that from a rookie very often, leading the league in a stat like that. And I give you the takeaways are judged differently in different buildings, but that's still very impressive. As, he takes it away from Voracek, and it's the goal that may have sealed the playoff spot for the Senators.
He doesn't do it by hounding players with the puck. He's more like a cobra.
Yes.
He coils like he did on Voracek and just bang. Before you know it, the puck is on his stick and not on yours anymore.
No, has 8 goals and 5 assists in the last 9 games. Here's Schultz's shot, and Hammond makes the save. Back to Schultz. And now it's cleared ahead. Ryan's without a stick. He gloves it ahead. White. Oh, they rule a hand pass there. Now we get Ryan and Schultz and others in ill humor. 7 minutes remaining here in the third period. Coming up after the game here. Lots of sports programming. Let's get a preview. John Bork is downstairs.
All right, thanks a lot, Jimmy. We'll have plenty on today's game and season. Coming up on Flyers Post-Game Live. Then at 6, we'll get you set for the Nationals and the Phillies as Cole Hamels takes the hill for the 2nd time this season. Plus, Phillies own Danny Garcia gets set for tonight's primetime fight. That and more at 6 o'clock on Sportsnet Central. But for now, let's send it back to J.J. Bill and Chris Terry.
Thank you very much. It is time now to take a look at our Bud Light player of the game. And who else but Mark Stone, delivering 2 goals, his second 2-goal game of his career. None bigger than the last one where he stripped Voracek. Gives Ottawa the insurance goal with just over 7 minutes ago. Mark Stone is the player of the game.
Yeah, he's been very good in this game. Been very good for the last 2 months. In fact, something like 3rd in the NHL in scoring since the new year, and that's why he's now tied with Johnny Hockey, Johnny Gaudreau in South Jersey for rookie point leadership. Mike Hoffman's 4th. Kevin Hayes, who is Gaudreau's line mate in college, is 5th. And now what do you do with the Calder Trophy? It was sort of a foregone conclusion. It was going to be Forsberg, Gaudreau, and Ekblad as your 3 finalists.
Yeah.
I don't know how you keep Stone out of that group. I'm not talking about who wins it, Chris. I'm talking about who are the 3. I mean, how do you take 3 of those 4?
Forsberg's so hot at the beginning, and then Stone at the end. You're right.
And in the category of what you've done lately, I think that's what you will end up having evaluated. I don't think Forsberg makes the final 3.
Very interesting. Those awards, of course, taking place in Las Vegas right after the Stanley Cup Finals. And the nominees will be announced soon after the regular season comes to an end.
When can you make a case? So I know it's a tough point to make. Could you make a case for Dubnyk and Hammond as the Hart Trophy winners? Devin Dubnyk in Minnesota?
Possibly. Atkinson shot here off the outside of the net. Whoa, look out there, Reed and Atkinson. Really a collision. It's tough because he didn't play the full year, but he obviously had huge impact on that team. So that's going to be another tough call.
Is there an award for best player over a 2-month stretch in the history of the game?
Yeah, I mean, serious, that's what I'm saying. This guy's been just that ridiculously good.
Grossman after the puck. Flyers down 2. The Senators 5:45 away from putting playoff jersey. He's getting into the playoffs. McCarthy's shot here is deflected out of play. We'll be back. Today's Flyers Senators game is brought to you by Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far. By Toyota. Where will Toyota take you? Visit buytoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. And by Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. Final 5:42 of the regular season for the Flyers. In all likelihood, this is the big story, or one of the big stories in the NHL. Where will these 2 wind up? The draft coming up. Number 1 will most likely be Connor McDavid. Jack Eichel, number 2. Both franchise turning players, according to those who have seen them. Both ending their seasons in fine fashion. Eichel taking his team to the national championship game, winning the Hobey Baker Award. McDavid only scored 5 goals in the playoffs for his club in junior hockey. I mean, they have just been great all year.
And the Flyers do not have the best odds but they will be in the mix.
We'll try to delve into that further before this game comes to an end, because certainly Flyers fans will be very interested in a couple of dates. Certainly the draft for one. The other will be the draft lottery, which is a week from today. Here's Voracek getting the puck to Giroux, but he was checked. Boy, great defensive work by the Senators, occupying Voracek and Giroux with dangerous players there. Now the other way, it's Condra. Condra with speed, cutting on in, the shot, and Mason the save there. The Senators can smell it now. They are less than 5 minutes away. That puck deflects off a stick and goes into the crowd. Here's the way the draft odds break down for the lottery. The Flyers are locked in that position right there, which is 7th. So they'll have a 6.5% chance of getting the first overall pick. Buffalo finishes dead last, and it's 20%, so it's not that huge a difference. It's going to be very interesting. And again, I believe it's on the 18th of April, which, yes, is a week from today.
Yep.
The Flyers are guaranteed of no lower than an 8th overall pick, most likely a 7th pick, and if they win the lottery, they have the first pick. It's going to be a great player any way you look at it, because it is a very talented and deep draft.
And the Flyers have 2 first-round picks, not only that one that we just showed you. Our Mazda top shelf performers in this one. Mark Stone has notched a couple for the Sens. J.G. Pajot with another one, and Andrew Hammond again added 32 saves on 33 shots. Matt Reed with a goal. Sean Couturier continued his point streak. Our Mazda top shelf performers.
Stone gets the puck to Turris. Couturier cross ice, but there is Stone. Banks it into the Philadelphia zone. The Flyers, unless they have a comeback in store here, there's still time. About to lose in regulation to a team that was in a playoff position for only the second time in their last 14 attempts in that situation, covering 26 games overall. Here's Koliakovo with a shot off the post, that close to getting back within one. Well, you have to be lucky to be good. Evans had a couple breaks in this game. Here's Koliakovo. Keep Condra away from the bucket, he does. Braden Shen moving up. Puts that one in deep. Mathot is back for it. Pajot broke the tie. Puck out to center, and there's Jake Voracek. Jake won this season, never having gone 3 straight games without a point. He has been so consistent. Truly took his game to another level, and as Chris said earlier, I don't have any doubt he's going to take it to another level next year. Empty net for the Flyers, but there's going to be a penalty called there. Up with the arm one, Wes McCauley, and he'll snuff out pretty much any chance of a comeback now for the Flyers, as he'll send Ackes into the box.
42 Philadelphia, minor penalty.
Well, that Stone, when he went in there, if he'd had the handle on it and they penalized him, he was going to get the goal called for him, but he never had clear enough possession. You can see Atkinson just kind of going for a ride right there.
Not much question about that. Jake Voracek wanted a penalty on one of the Senators out in the neutral zone, but not to be. So Steve Mason is back in. Craig Berube coaching down to the last couple of minutes of the regular season, trying to get this thing tied by pulling Steve Mason.
Well, we saw the Islanders come back from 2 goals down with a goalie pull, scoring twice to the extra attacker earlier this week in this building. Flyers, of course, ended up winning that game when they scored after that, but it can be done. But the task made that much more difficult now as they are down a man. Here's Schultz, finding it deep into Ottawa ice. Carlson flipping around to Weirkow. And now, Bobby Ryan. The other way to the playoffs is Carlson. Gives it back to Ryan. Ryan right back to Carlson. And now the pass to Weirkow for a shot that's blocked. They say they're on the way to the playoffs. Bobby Ryan really hasn't had a big year. He was being counted on to be a big source of offense, but he's the kind of guy who, if they do make the playoffs, can get hot and be a major force.
No question. You wipe the slate clean from the regular season and start again, and you kind of recharge and refresh. Bobby Ryan has a chance to be a real valuable asset to the Sens in the playoffs.
They're falling short of 20 goals, and you're right, that's a little bit surprising for a guy like Bobby Ryan.
Less than 2 minutes remaining now. There's 45 seconds remaining. Penalty to Atkinson. Now the puck moved ahead. MacArthur. Carlson in the end. MacArthur has his pass blocked by Delzato. They get it to Couturier. He does go ahead to Matt Reed. Reed, who has the Flyers goal, sends it toward the net. Save made by Hammond. Reached out with a pad there. 20 seconds remain in the Ottawa power play. Over a minute more than that in the game. For the Flyers, they will miss the playoffs. I mentioned earlier, only the third time in the last 20 years that they will be on the outside looking in at the playoff picture. And it'll be a season in which decisions will be made, changes will be made for sure. Very important draft. There'll be lots of reasons to pay attention to what's going on with the orange and black. One would think during these next 3 or 4 months. Into the final minute. As Pajot moves up. Flip it into the Philadelphia zone. Mason's still out there, as you see. Puck comes out in front of his net to Pajot on the backhand, and Mason makes the save. Voracek races over, turns with it, and then gives it back. Flyers trying to get up the ice here. Mason, see if he follows them. Voracek cutting up. Nope, Mason staying on the ice as Voracek is formed upon by the Senators. Faceoff will clear it out through center ice. Zato has it back, and he'll send it deep into the Ottawa zone one more time. Ryba has the puck. They turned it over, and a shot in on Hammond by Giroux, and one last save for the Hamburglar. Why not?
And this one wasn't clean. This was a bouncer that had a chance. But Andrew Hammond has been a good player, as he has been the last couple of years, a couple of months at least.
As every season comes to an end for a team, the players and coaches realize that they'll never be together exactly the same ever again. There will be changes. What changes? We don't know. Ron Hextall would have the answers, or maybe he doesn't even have the answers right now to all those questions, but we shall see what's in store in the offseason. In the meantime, the Ottawa Senators dump the puck into the Flyers zone, and they have completed the most unlikely surge into a playoff spot. Ryan Murray, Dave Cameron, Andrew Hammond, and the Senators are going to the playoffs. Down 14 points in early February. They climb into the playoffs. What a story indeed.
Well, it obviously wasn't impossible, but it seemed that way. It was highly improbable, and the Senators got on a roll. Andrew Hammond was a huge part of it. The Ottawa Senators do not have a dominant offensive leader. They just all contributed and made it happen one game at a time, one period at a time. And the Flyers finished the season with the same kind of effort they started, 100%. A great salute to the fans here that have stuck with them, knowing that they weren't going to make the playoffs.
Coming up, Flyers post-game live. Brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance. A recap to this game, but a recap to the season as well. John Bourque, Al Morgani, and the gang will recap this season as we end our final broadcast of the season as the Flyers file off the ice onto the locker room and into the off season. Bill, it's been a pleasure working with you again this year. They're a great crew. Keith Jones as well. And of course, Chris Therien down ice level. It's been a year. Obviously, you like to be in the playoffs, but I still think that there are a lot of building blocks for this team heading forward, and the draft is part of that.
Without question. It is a rich draft. The Flyers are loaded with draft picks thanks to the deals that Ron Hextall has made. So there will be building blocks for the future that will be put in place. All you have to do is look at the number of points that the Flyers lost in overtime or shootouts to know just how close the Flyers were to being a playoff team. So without a doubt, there is no need to clean the table off completely and start from scratch. The building blocks are definitely here. Steve Mason had a tremendous season in goal for the Flyers. Jake Voracek emerged not only as a terrific offensive player, but a dominant player in the NHL and came very close to winning the Art Ross Trophy. Claude Giroux is Claude Giroux. He will always be brilliant. So yeah, they're building pieces to the major block of Stanley Cup champion. They're here.
Most analysts who look at the Flyers feel they need help on defense. That help is coming. They have 4 legitimate prospects. They're all very young, might not be ready at the start of next year, but one gets the feeling we'll start seeing them next year and the year after that. And if it molds together with those forwards, you've got a goaltender, you know, something special could be in the making. It's going to take a little time, and
Sure.
Ron Hextall has said he'll be patient.
But and he has to be, really. The Flyers draft the last couple of years was geared to building and rebuilding the Flyers blue line. I mean, nobody expected Kimmo Timonen to be out of the lineup for this season, so you take that piece away. It tells you if the Flyers can rebuild the blue line, that they will be right there. But the pieces are in place within 2 or 3 years from now, perhaps even next season, to have a very good blue line, and within a couple of seasons to potentially have a dominant blue line by NHL standards. And that's how you win.
So after we watch the draft lottery, then the draft, and then it's back to training camp in September. I will see you then.
I'll be here.
All right, Bill Clement, Chris Therien, Keith Jones, and of course our amazing crew. And as we leave you on this final broadcast, we're going to tribute the crew, give you some of the names that are behind the sights and sounds that you've been seeing all year long. Flyers fans, of course, when I gave all the thank yous earlier, I did not mention the fans, and certainly they deserve a thank you as well, the best hockey fans in the world. It's been great.